Alexandria, Egypt aligns with the sun on Alexander the Great's birthday. As we know, Alexandria, Egypt was a city established by Alexander the Great. When he passed through Israel and then went to Egypt, the high priest of Egypt told him that he was the son of a god, because he knew that his biological father was actually one of the last pharaohs of Egypt, Nectanebo, the male pharaohs that is. And Nectanebo feared for his life. He fled to northern Greece, and he stayed at the palace of King Philip, while Philip, the father of Alexander the Great, was away. He had gone to a battle, and he was not there for a long period of time. And yet he came back and found his wife pregnant. That's why he claimed that Alexander was not his son, because it was not possible for him to impregnate his wife when he was not there. And Nectanebo was there, pretending he was a magician from Egypt, supposedly giving Alexander's mother potions, and she was having hallucinations at night, claiming that she was having relations with quote-unquote God, and that's how Alexander came about. That's why when he went to Egypt, of course, the high priest there knew that Pharaoh Nectanebo had gone and he fled to northern Greece for his life. And of course, they claimed that he was, in fact, the son of a god, because the Egyptians believed that their pharaohs were gods. Anyway, Alexander established one of his cities there. He established many cities in the areas that he conquered. The ancient city of Alexandria in Egypt was built in such a way that it aligned with the sun on the day of Alexander the Great's birth. Alexander the Great lived about 330 BC, by the way. This is what the Italian archaeoastronomer Dr. Giulio Mali and Luisa Ferro of the Polytechnic University of Milan state. The city's main thoroughfare, the Canopian Way, or Mesonpedion meaning the middle way, is almost perfectly aligned with the sun as it would have risen on the morning of July 20th, 356 BC. According to the Julian calendar, it would have been common in cities of that time for the main street to have been laid out parallel to the Mediterranean coast, and even though the Canopian Street runs west-east, it deviates from parallel to the beach. The research in question came alongside the ongoing interest of historians and archaeologists in finding the tomb of the great soldier, believed to be in a golden ossuary inside a glass sarcophagus, suspecting that Alexandria was built based on some solar event connected to Alexander's life. The Italian researchers used appropriate software and simulated the sunrise on the day of his birth. They thus calculated that the sun would rise less than half a degree from the path of the Canopian Way. Astronomers also discovered that the star Regulus, the brightest star in the constellation Leo, and the so-called Star of the King, quote-unquote, would also rise in a similar alignment. The non-random nature of this choice is reinforced by similar finds in other Hellenic cities such as Seleucia and on the Tigris River. The findings are consistent with similar architectural practices of antiquity, such as the alignment of the Pyramid of Giza with the points of the compass. It is also worth noting that the teacher of Alexander the Great, Aristotle, was a follower of the ideas of Plato and Socrates about the birth of the perfect city. Aligning an entire city with the date of birth of Alexander the Great would emphasize his power and authority. The same group aims to examine the rest of the cities built by Alexander the Great in order to investigate whether they also follow a solar or astronomical pattern. Alexandria in Egypt was the prototype for the rest of the cities, and its location was chosen more for religious and symbolic reasons than strategic ones. The research was published in the Oxford Journal of Archaeology, and this I've translated from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.